sort of bloody time to call this? It's 2 o'clock in the bloody morning. Yeah, that's right, guys. Yeah, we're doing a fucking morning session, really. I mean, it's pitch black everywhere. Oh, here he comes. Here comes Stevie Wood. Look, I hope he can't wait. I wasn't going to go, but fuck me, I just checked the water. It's bloody tap water. So hopefully we're going to get some. No, we've been doing really well at this venue, to be honest, but it's very, very limited sort of times. I mean, you know, the window of opportunity has never been that great. Oh, it isn't him, actually. He's probably overslept, to be honest. But we'll find that out in a little while. He should be here soon. I thought I'd get this little intro in before we get started. Yeah, like I say, it's been a brilliant year so far for us. You know, the times we have actually been lure fishing, we've actually been really catching well. Bait fishing as well, we've been doing really well. You know, anyway, so hopefully we're going to get a few tonight. It's a really big tide. I mean, high tide's about 3:45. But you know, I've been watching the weather. It's just turned where we are. It doesn't really clear very often, but tonight we're on it. So let's get into the video. Hello there. Welcome to another video. Right, this is just a little bit of a recap of what's been happening for us this year. I mean, I've got to say, it's probably been one of the best bloody starts to a bass season I think I've ever bloody known. I mean, I think I've only, actually, that would be a lie. We blanked a couple of times up until 2 nights ago, because we went last night and the night before we didn't catch bugger all. But up till then, I mean, it was only one night where I've actually blanked out of about maybe 10, 11, 12 trips we'd been catching all the time, but Steve Wood had caught that night anyway. So yeah, it's been a great start to the season. You know, considering bloody, you know, the window of opportunity still hasn't been brilliant. You know, we're keeping tabs on the weather, looking for opportunities. I'm always nipping down in the daytime to check the water, you know, to see what it's like. Because obviously at night time in the pitch black, it's got to be pretty clear. Do you know what I mean? You ain't got a chance, and that proves it, because we've been to the last 2 nights when we really did think the weather was gonna clear the water up. It's been absolutely crap. Not a bloody thing. Nothing. But we never really heard. Sometimes you can hear them jumping around at this killer venue where we'd be going. I mean, we have been going other places. I mean, bait fishing and things like that, where it's been exactly the same. We've still been getting them. It's been unbelievable. It doesn't surprise me so much for bait fishing, but lure fishing, I mean, there's been other years where I've been like 15 times and blanked, and you really start questioning everything. And then all of a sudden, when you start getting them and you do get into run, you feel like you can catch on anything. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so let's get into the video. Right then, let's take a look at some of the lures that have been crushing it for us this year in the start of the season. Right, let's have a look. Go through the box, shall we? Right, and here's some of the ones. Right. Anyway, here's one of them. That's a copy, a hound copy. I don't know what it is about the hound. I think it's going to be one of my. I think it's going to be one of my best ever lures. Now, the funny thing is about that one, that particular one, it's only got 2 hooks. Now, if we take a look at the classic Sonic, my killer from last year, because I've got 2 now, because what happened was I got hold of one, I lost it, and then I got another 2, because obviously last year I'd lost the one where obviously I'd hauled them up the side. But the funny thing, yeah, so obviously it's the same size as a normal hound, but it's only got bloody 2 hooks. Now, it's been a little bloody nightmare, shall I? Because what me and Steve Wood were having a bit of an issue was the fact that we were using hounds, not that one, not in particularly that one, because we're using the drop net. What the problem was is when we were getting the bloody fish in, the treble hooks were getting really tangled up in. A bit of weed on there, look at that. Milk tea. We're getting tangled up in the bloody net. I mean, it was taking us forever trying to get all the hooks out. Obviously, first priority was to bloody try to get the fish out of the net, because obviously we have to use a drop net where we fishing. For some of them, I mean, some of them you can hand haul them over the side. You know what I mean? When they're a little bit bigger, you can't do it. And like, ironically, like I said last year, that's how I lost the Sonic. The bloody line snapped at the bloody knot. And oh shit. Anyway, yeah. So that's another one of the copy of a bloody of the thing. Well, we went last night. Actually, it was pretty shit. We didn't catch nothing. The water was absolutely crap. 2 nights on the trot we've tried, thinking because of the way the weather's gone southerly, and hardly any. But the bloody water's just not cleared, and the sun's come out. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know why, but it's bloody annoying. So there's 2 of the ones that have done the business. There's another little white Sonic there that we're not that I've used it. I just thought I'd get that out while I was here. Right then, where's the other ones? Oh yeah, well really, but basically it's mostly those, but these have been killer as well. Where are they? Let's have a look in the old little bag, shall we? Now, white spindle worm, like that. You know, that's a exposed hook. The exposed hook, not weedless. I seem to be doing so very well on the weedless. I mean, I've got a weedless there. That's a missionary eel. That's the weedless version. Obviously, I do like the hooks, but the only one time I caught on that bloody thing, I didn't catch on it. I hooked it, and bloody got off. Only time. Obviously, that's the one. That's the exposed 10-gram jig head. They're the ones that have done the business, really. Not that colour, the pure white one. I have got one, but it ain't got the same jig head, which is that. Well, obviously I've got these Zorus jig heads on, and the reason why I like these is because the hooks are slightly thinner. So maybe they might just bend out a little bit if you're getting the snake, because that's actually what happened. We had moved from where our normal sort of hot spot to another little spot where I knew there was a lot more sand before there was rocks, meaning hopefully we wouldn't get snagged up so much. Do you know what I mean? We wouldn't get snagged, because I'd already lost one lure up the other end, an exposed hook, and that was what had happened. Now, see, the funny thing is, right, what with my rod, I just don't get it, my replacement. Because last year I snapped my rod, if you remember. I told you I'd caught one it must have been about 2.5 pounds. I still got it in, even though the rod was hanging down in half. And that was, don't know why it snapped. So what I've had a top built. It's completely different from the bottom. Let's just go and get it, shall we? Here it is. Now I know you can't really see it, but that's got bloody blinding. It cost me 260 quid. So that is the replacement tip. Now what happened was, this is a Kevlar tip. Now what had happened was I'd caught 5 fish in 5 casts using the missionary eel. Then what had happened was I got snagged, and it fucking snapped off. And what happened was, you see, when with these eyes and using one of these little bloody, what do you call it, little tiny little things, they actually would go through all the eyes and the top eye, even fitted through the top eye. So what happened was, when I lost the missionary eel, I snapped it off. Obviously, I snapped it off. All I did, it snapped off by the leader anyway. I mean, by the knot of the lead. You know, when I hardly even tugged it. It must have had a little nick in the line from one of the bass had done it in the leader. Anyway, so when I tied the new lure clip on, I reeled it up like this. Where we went in to walk off, and what had happened was the actual clip had gone through the eye. The lure was still on. I'd actually put the hound back on, actually, to move back to where we were. The actual hook, the actual clip went behind the eye, and the bloody lure was sticking out at the end. But the problem is, it wouldn't come back out again for some reason. The new clip the new lure clip must have been bigger than the other one, because it just wouldn't come out. I was wrestling around with it and bloody doing all this and that, trying to get it out. Got a pair of pliers to try to crush it to get it out. Still couldn't get it out. Anyway, what actually happened was that I broke the ceramic in the rod ring. So I got my trusty hound, my 125, the bone hound. I've lost 2 of them this year already. Put it on, cast it out. Just went out into the distance. Nothing. It wasn't even on there. I didn't even feel it. It was that sharp, the end of the thing where the ceramic come out. I didn't even feel it. No resistance. Poof, it was off. Gone. And that bloody hound's been it's probably been my #1 lure this year for this start of the season. So that's a little rundown of the lures. There's one of them bloody, them slapper things, but I haven't caught anything on it yet. It's funny, just the way it goes, I suppose. So yeah, that's the just the lures that have been working for us so far this year. I mean, I'm sure there'll be. It's weird, I've not caught on that Sonic, and that was my killer lure last year. Why, I don't know. Maybe the water's just not clear enough, maybe, I don't know. Like, see, last night when we fished, it was cloudy and it was really clear skies. So I thought it might, when it cleared, it might be something to do with that, but no, because the water was bloody shit anyway. Right, well, that's the end of the video. Like I said, what a great start it's been. And the thing is, it's not just been at we've moved to other locations on the just to try experimenting, and still been managing to catch them. But another thing I forgot to mention is, ironically, right, because there's another lure I forgot to show you. Actually, I think I'll get it. I'll show you quickly. Now, this was what had happened was, when I had the 5 fish in 5 casts, like I said, one after the other, and then snap my lure off. Anyway, they were all, the actual stamp of fish were a lot smaller. I mean, not like on the bigger lures, whether it's just a coincidence, we'd obviously moved, do you know what I mean? And from there, I mean, nearly every single fish was about 55 centimetres at the hard lure location. Anyway, so my theory went out the window, because Steve Wood had this lure that he made up. That is a Savage Gear V2 tail with a 10-gram jig head, and he put that on, and he had one about 55 centimetres straight away. Anyway, and also then the first time we did I've only been low tide once this year. It's just the way it's worked out with the weather and things like that. He also caught another 3 that night when it was pretty crap, do you know what I mean? But the water was bloody blinding. That was at a low tide location. I still caught 1 that night. He done me that night, he did. Never mind, it's just the way it goes. He's a good old lad. Anyway, that's basically the end of the video. Make sure you like. I want to know any comments you've got, any views about what lures you've been using, what's working for you. Anyway, when I see you, hopefully we'll get some live footage in. Not at our main. I can't film that. It's pitch black anyway. It's too much of a giveaway. Anyway, all the best. Thanks for watching. See you soon.